VS Code is one of the most popular code editors right now. It's free, built on open source, and runs everywhere. It is available to download for Windows 10, Windows 11, then Linux operating systems like Debian, Ubuntu, and then Apple's Mac OS. Easiest way to download VS Code is to simply search it inside Google and then click on top link. It will take you to the Visual Studio Code's official website. It will automatically give an option to download for your operating system. After installation, when you open your VS Code for first time, you will see a bunch of options. In start section, there is an option to create a new file. On clicking on it, it will open a dialog box. So here you can create a text file or a Python file. Let's create a text file. It will ask you to select a language or fill it with a template. From select a language, you can choose any language you want. So there are a bunch of options, or alternatively, you can write in this search bar. So let's create an HTML file. I have written some HTML code inside this file, but this file still is not created. As you can tell from the name, it is still untitled. To save this file, you can click on file menu and then select save as or save, or alternatively you can press Ctrl+S. Now I will click save as. You can name it any file like code.html and then save. This way we have created our first file in this project named code.html. On left hand side of VS Code are various icons that do very useful stuff. But first of all, we will explore the Explorer. This is the file we have just created. Inside Explorer, you can create, manage and see your files. So here at the top, there's an icon for creating new file, new folder, refresh Explorer, and collapse the folders if you have so many folders. So here this is a new file. I will click it, so it will create a new file. So here for example, I can create something like code.js. So as you can see, the moment I have written JS, this icon is changed to JS. So press enter. So a new JavaScript file is created. To create a new folder, click on this icon new folder and name it anything you want. For example, I am naming it my folder and press enter. New folder will be created, but currently it has no files. To create files, you can just first select it, then click on new file icon. Then after that you can create any file. Like I am going to create CSS file, so I will write code.css. So here as you can see, the icon is changed to CSS file. Press enter and a new file will be created inside this folder. If you want to move some outer file inside this folder, you have to select that file and drag that file inside this folder. So there's a pop-up appear. Are you sure you want to move code.js into my folder? Then click on move, and as you can see, this file is moved into this folder. Suppose you have multiple folders inside your project and they are all opened. So with this icon collapse folders, you can collapse all of them at once. Now what does this refresh explorer icon do? So for example, you have selected this code.js and you have clicked somewhere else inside your explorer. If you click on this refresh explorer, it will take you to the exact file that you have opened, current active file inside your VS Code. So for example, I will select some other file inside my folder too. So I will collapse it, I will just select something else, and if I refresh it, it will take me to file2.txt. So that's what it does. When you first time open a file inside Explorer, you can see that it is italicized. That means any other file you open will be opened inside this tab. If I click on file1.txt, it will be in the same tab, and file2.txt, it will be in the same tab. But if you want to just keep it here and you do not want it to be replaced with edit file, you have to double click it, and then it is not italicized now. So now if you click on any other file, it will open in a new tab, right? So that process repeats. If you click on other file, it will be open in this tab. So you have to double click again to like fix this file inside this third tab, right? So that process goes on. Also with this close button, you can close any file you want to. When you add any new code inside your file, it is not saved by default. To check if it is saved or not, you can see this white dot. If there is a white dot, that means this file is not saved. To save this file, you can either select from this file menu the save, click on save, and it will be saved. But suppose you have written something else, right? New code, And here you can also press Command plus S or Control plus S if you're on Windows. Then here it is saved. Write some additional code inside this file. As you can see, this white dot appeared. Then now save it with Command plus S or Control plus S. Then again write some more code. Again you have to press Command plus S. It is now saved. But this is a very repetitive process. You don't want to save after every code addition. This can be easily fixed inside VS Code settings. To open VS Code settings, click on this icon at the bottom of sidebar, and as you can see there are a bunch of options. Click on settings and the settings will be opened. So here at the top we have commonly used settings. The first is autosave. Currently it is off. That means any changes in the inside code are not saved automatically. Then you can click here on after delay. So now go to your file and write any code. For example, const array is equals to this array. So as you can see now no white dot appeared inside our file. So that means our code is being automatically saved. Of course, in a lengthy code base, you want to search for a particular name, function, or sentence. To search for any keyword, name, or long text, you can press Ctrl plus F, then it will open a find box at the top. You can write any name, variable name, or any other text which you want to find inside your code base. So for example, I want to find all the occurrences of number. So I will write a number inside this search bar, and as you can see it has highlighted all the number names inside our code base. So it is very beneficial if you want to find some variable names or function names in your code. Or you can just select any variable, then press Ctrl plus F. It will automatically enter this selected variable name inside this search bar. So it has automatically entered number. So it has listed out all the numbers names inside our code, but there is a little problem. I want to search only for the number which has capital N. So for that you can click on this button which will match the case. So here it has only found this number which has capital N. Search functionality is also available inside sidebar. You have to just click on this icon, this search icon, and it will open a search text box. Here you can search for any name, keyword, or a full sentence. So here I will just search for number as we have done before, and the difference is that it will search for every file inside our folder. So it has searched inside my folder and it has searched inside this file1.txt. So as you can see we have multiple files. I have number inside code.js. I have number written inside this file1.txt. So it has found out all the occurrences in every file in the current project. You might have noticed a very small text written on the right hand side of VS Code. This is actually called minimap, and it will take you to different parts of code. When you drag it to the bottom, it will take you to the bottom part of code, and when you drag it upwards, it will take you to the top of your code. Back to welcome page, you can open any recent project directly from recent section, or if you want to open some other folder, you can click on this open button and it will take you to the explorer. And for example, here I will open inside technologies, then frameworks. I will open a React project, React Learn, and I will click on open. And as you can see, it has opened some new folder and all its files and folders. Inside walkthrough section, you can get started with different technologies or languages. The third icon inside this sidebar is a source control. Here you can directly work with Git. As you know about Git, first you have to stage the changes. Here from this plus icon, you can stage all changes. As you can see, now changes are staged. And now you can write the first commit. This will be the message of your commit. I will commit it and it's committed. A great feature about VS Code is its extension. You can also select it from sidebar, and as you can see there are some installed extensions and there are recommended extensions. Extensions are basically used to add support for some languages, add themes, add features which are not available by default inside VS Code. You can even visit the VS Code marketplace in the web, which has thousands and thousands of extensions available to download. Inside VS Code, you can also change different themes. To do that, just click on this settings icon, then select themes, then color themes. So here there's the list of these themes that you can use. So let's see, I want to use Atom 1 Light. So here our theme is changed to light. VS Code settings will improve your development experience and also your productivity. You can open your VS Code settings by clicking on this bottom right icon and then clicking on settings. It will open a settings tab inside VS Code where you can make every change. On the left hand side, all the main categories are listed out on which the changes can be made. At the top we have commonly used settings. Autosave can automatically save the changes inside your code. It can save you a lot of time and by default it is off, but you can select other options like after delay, on focus change or on window change, but I will prefer after delay. Anytime you make changes in your code, you don't have to worry about saving it. Cursor style can be changed to block, underline, line thin, block outline or underline thin. This is block cursor style just like a terminal. This is underline cursor. There are other cursor styles, but for me, I think line is the best because you can easily tell where the cursor is placed. Very often inside your code you have long line of code. To see it properly, you have to scroll to the right. To wrap the line, you have to select the on option. Now in your code, you can see your line of code is wrapped and you do not even need to scroll to the right to see it properly. There is another option called bounded that will wrap at minimum of viewport. As you can see inside your code, there is more space on the right and it is properly wrapped. Text editor has a settings for the editor itself like cursor, find, font, formatting and other settings. Cursor's blinking animation style can be changed. It can be blink, smooth, phase, expand or solid. This is a smooth animation style. This is face animation style and it looks very smooth. And this is really cool looking expand style. Solid style if you do not want your cursor to be blinked. You can even set the cursor width. Let's set it to 4. And let's see how it looks. So as you can see, our cursor is more wide. The default font family in VS Code is Menlo, Monaco, Courier New and Monospace. So this is how it looks. Let's change it to Futura. Now as you can see, the font for your code is in the Futura font style. Font weight for your code can be normal or bold. It is saying that edit in settings.json. So settings.json is another way to change settings in your VS Code. You can open it by clicking on this icon that is open settings.json. So as you can see, your settings in the JSON format is opened. All the changes we are doing in the settings panel are also added in the settings.json. As you can see, we had just added word wrap as bounded, so it is also added here. Then cursor blinking solid, we just changed that. Cursor weight 2. Now we're going to change font weight. It's normal by default. Now let's change it to bold. So great, our code is changed into bold so it can be easily read. One of my favorite setting is format on save. What it does is it will format your whole file just when you save your file. We will select it. It will say a formatter must be available. To select a default formatter on which you are working, you can type here in the search settings default formatter and then on text editor it will select a default formatter for editor. None is selected by default. Here you can select the language support for JavaScript and TypeScript, and here's TypeScript and JavaScript language features, and it will select this formatter for our JS file. Now suppose in your file some part of your code is not formatted. So when you press Ctrl+S or Command+S, your code will be automatically formatted. Or alternatively, you can download prepared code formatter for VS Code extension, which can format all languages like JavaScript, TypeScript, JSX, JSON, CSS, HTML, and much more. After installing prepared, you can go to the same default formatter setting, and here you can select prepared code formatter. So now if I save it, as you can see, our code is formatted with the prepared standard, and even the semicolons are added where they were not added. Lots of options are there to configure the minimap. When its auto hide feature is enabled, minimap will be hidden automatically. As you can see, if I hover over here, minimap will appear, and if I hover over left, it will disappear. You can disable the minimap entirely. Now the minimap will not be shown at all. By default, it is drawn on the scale of 1. Its size can be increased by changing the scale. Now you will see your minimap has grown. Even its position can be changed from right to left. Now it is rendered on the left hand side. With the size setting, you can make it to fill the whole space. Now you will see it is filling the whole space on the left hand side. Suggestion setting contains the settings to handle the inline suggestions. Accept suggestion on commit character controls whether suggestion should be accepted on commit characters. In JavaScript, semicolon is a commit character. When you press it, your suggestion is automatically typed. This setting will let you accept the suggestion on the enter key. With this, you simply press enter and your suggestion will be typed. Usually tab is the key to accept the suggestion, but you can actually set it to off to help to avoid hide ambiguity between inserting new lines or accepting suggestions. Actually, it is a task of IntelliSense to show suggestions. By default, it is enabled for classes, colors, constants, and all other different types of fields. So you can actually disable them if you want to. So by default, they are enabled for every field. Now there are workbench settings. This is the activity bar, and through this setting you can change its position. By default it is on the side, but you can actually set it to the top. Here you can see the settings and your account is at the top, and also you can hide it if you want to. With color theme setting you can actually change the theme of your VS Code. You might have not noticed this, but the font aliasing is applied by default inside VS Code, but by default it is only subpixel font smoothing, and if you set it to none, you will notice that there are some rough edges in the text. When you select anti-aliasing, your text becomes even more smoother. Here the anti-aliasing for the fonts is applied, but one thing to take care is that your font will become a little lighter when you apply it. With icon theme setting, you can actually set the theme for your icons inside your Explorer. So here I will set some other theme. As you can see, the icons for these files are changed. Location of the sidebar can be changed from left to right with this setting. With this setting, you can make the status bar visible or hidden. I usually make it hidden because it just takes some extra space. Next, we have settings for breadcrumbs. Actually, if you don't know, these are the breadcrumbs in which you can navigate to different folders or files directly from here, but I do not use it. Actually, from here, from this setting, you can disable it. As you can see, it is not disabled. There are lots of other settings that you can change, like there are settings for editor management, settings editor, Zen mode, screencast mode. Inside window section, there is a setting for new window. Then inside features section, we have settings for accessibility, explorer, search, debug, testing, then source control, extensions, terminal, task, then problems, output, comments, remote, timeline, notebook, audio queues, merge editor, and chat. Then application, we have proxy, keyboard, update, telemetry, settings sync, experimental, and other settings. Then inside security, we have settings for workspace. At last, we have settings for extension. There are lots of extensions in which you can change your settings directly inside VS Code. If you use Git a lot, you can use Git Lens that will supercharge your workflow. You can simply go to any file you want and click on any line of code, and it will tell you who has made changes in that line of code. On hovering over it, it will tell you the exact time on which changes were made and also what changes were made. After installation, it will appear on the left hand side of sidebar. Inside it, you can even view the commits and also the files in which this commit has made changes. Commit graph is a new addition, and it will tell you the visual graph of your commit history. Inside Git Lens Inspect, you can see the visual file history of any file. You can see its file history, its line history, or its commit details. Live server is used to launch development server locally. Working with HTML documents become really easier with this extension, as you can simply click on this Go Live button inside status bar and it will start a development server for you inside the browser. Also, any changes you made inside your HTML document will be immediately reflected inside the browser. This extension has snippets for JavaScript, React, Redux, and React Native. You can look into all the available commands online. For example, from this IAMP prefix, you can actually import a module. Inside your React project, you can simply write IAMP and then press tab, then this import command will be added. With FRE, you can write the for each statement. With CLO prefix, write console command. And with RFC prefix, you can write a functional React component. With large code base, you may find it difficult to locate and find your CSS classes or IDs. This extension will make your task easier. Inside HTML, you have to just press Ctrl and then hover over any class and it will show their properties. Also, by pressing Ctrl and clicking on any class name, you can easily locate them. Prettier is one of the best code formatter out there for multiple languages like JavaScript, TypeScript, JSX, JSON, and more. As you make code which is not formatted properly, it has some empty lines, some unnecessary spaces, and bad indentation. If you have a Prettier extension installed, you can simply right click and then select Format Document. Your document will be automatically formatted. Or alternatively, you can simply press Ctrl+S and it will be formatted. It will even add the semicolons inside your code. Relative path can come handy to get relative URL paths from files in the current workspace. Relative path of any file in project can be added by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus H, then simply typing the name of the file and then click on that file and this relative path will be added. Import cost is very simple yet useful extension to display import required package size in the editor. It will show an actual size of module and also its gzipped size. It will even show the size of some submodules or methods from a library. Let's say you have installed Lodash library. When you import the whole library, it is taking 71.5 kilobytes of space, so that will make your app very heavier. If we import only a selected method of this library, it is taking only 2.3 kilobytes of space. So to make your website or app lighter, you have to only use selected methods. Tab9 is an AI autocomplete for JavaScript, Python, TypeScript, PHP, Go, Java and many more languages. First you need to create a new account for Tab9. It will provide AI code suggestions to complete your code. You have to press Tab to add the code suggested by Tab9. By hovering over the suggestion, you can switch between different options. You can even ask it to explain your code. So now this is a React code, so it is now explaining it. You can even ask some question to Tab9 and it will answer it just like a ChatGPT. To-do highlight will let you write the to-do list inside your code. It highlights them and reminds you that there are notes or things not done yet. Inside comment, write to-do in capital letter, then color to highlight it. Also to highlight bugs and issues that need to be fixed properly, you can write fix me in capital and then colon. Also inside settings.json, you can write custom keywords through to-do highlight.keywords. Just like to-do and fix me, you can write them with a capital letter and then colon to highlight them. Bookmarks is a great extension that can mark lines of code in different files and can easily jump between them. To bookmark any line of code, just go to that line and then right click and then just go to bookmarks and then click on toggle. A new bookmark will be created. Inside bookmarks extension in activity bar, you can see that we have created bookmarks in code.js at line number 17 and column number 20. You can create more bookmarks inside your code by simply pressing Ctrl plus Alt plus K. A new bookmark is added. Even switching between different bookmarks is very easier with this sidebar. Bookmark can be created inside any file. Here bookmark is created in two files. One is code.html, you can select it from here, and also you can select code.js bookmarks. If you want to use linting inside your VS Code, you can use slint extension, which has almost 32 million installs. It will simply tell you the issues inside your code and will also tell you the syntax errors. If you find yourself searching for correct spellings online, you can use this code spell checker. Whenever there is a spelling mistake inside code, it will highlight it. Here value is misspelled inside this first value variable name. You can simply fix it by yourself, or you can simply hover over it and then click on quick fix. It will give you a suggestion and then you just click on it and it will fix that. With better comments, improve your code commenting by annotating with alert, informational, to-dos and more. These better comments can be written inside multi-line. When the asterisk sign is written at the start, comment is written in the green color and you can write some important information here. If question mark is written at start, comment will be in blue color. And you can write anything you are not sure about. When to-do colon is written, comment will be in the orange color and you can write to-do list here. With exclamation marks, some deprecated warnings or some issues can be written. With double forward slashes, comment will be striked through. It is not mandatory that better comments need to be written inside multi-line. You can even write them inside single line. If you wish to have JavaScript and TypeScript playground in your editor, you can use Quokka.js. By default, it has Quokka's Community Edition, which is free, but you can also try the pro version. To start it, you have to press Ctrl plus Shift plus P. Inside search bar, write Quokka.js. It will give you a bunch of commands related to Quokka.js and just select new JavaScript file. It will create a new JavaScript file for you. You can print or console any variable or string. It will give the output just at the side of the code and also inside the terminal. Amazing thing about it is that you do not even need to write console.log to get the output. I have written a function to get the sum of two numbers. Now I am saving the sum inside the variable name result and now I am writing this result. Simply writing the result variable will give me the output at the side of this code and also inside the terminal. Also it works in real time. You can write any number inside this sum function and it will give you the output in real time. While SLint is available for JavaScript only, SonarLint supports JS, TS, Python, PHP, Java, C, and many other languages. For example, in the Python code, it can show the linting errors. You can even see the linting issues directly inside Problems section in Terminal. If you want the detailed explanation of the issue, you can simply click on this bulb and then click on SonarLint Quick Fix, and it will tell you the issue and how you can fix that. You can see in the compliant solution that it is saying that we need to use the digit, not the string. After I use the digit or integer, the linting error is gone. Polacode is another great extension to take screenshot of your code. First, you need to open the command palette by pressing Command plus Shift plus P. Then type Polacode inside the search bar and click on Polacode. It will open a new window of the Polacode. All you need to do is to just copy the code of which you want to take the screenshot, then here paste it. Now click on this icon of Polacode to save your file and then click on save. And then you can check your screenshot of your code inside your desktop. You can even change the height and width of the code from this window. This is a great tool, but still it's not perfect because as you can see, some fonts are in the new line. Error Lens is another great extension that can improve the highlighting of errors and warnings inside your code. Take the example of the same warning that we came across earlier. Error Lens will give you the warning message in the same line as of the code. Also, it will highlight the errors inside your code in the same line with red color. Error Lens is a great tool if you want to write the error and warning message directly inside the code and you do not want to hover over them. If you are a Tailwind user, this extension is great to get the IntelliSense for it. Whenever I use Tailwind inside my project, I consistently find myself visiting the Tailwind official website to find the different types of properties of Tailwind. Now, as this extension provides the Tailwind IntelliSense directly inside code, I don't need to visit the official website. It will improve my workflow inside Tailwind. If you want to make your indentation easier to read, you can use Indent Rainbow. So as you can see, it has created different rainbow colors for different indentation levels. VS Code Icons is a very popular extension that has special icons for different files and folders. Click on this set file icon theme and your icons will be applied. As you can see, this has special type of file and folder icons for every type of technology, and you can easily tell what is what. GitHub Copilot can be your AI peer programmer. This is also world's most widely adopted AI developer tool. With this, you can get suggestions for almost any type of code. It has proven to increase developer productivity and accelerate the pace of software development by 55%. You can get the AI-based suggestions in real time, but before using it inside your editor, you need to purchase it. GitHub also recently introduced Copilot X that uses OpenAI's GPT-4 for a more personalized developer experience. Code Runner is another great extension to run and execute code for a vast amount of languages. Suppose you have a JavaScript code written and you want to get its output. You simply need to click on this icon and it will show the output of this code. Some extra information is also provided in its output like running and done. To remove them, open settings.json and then set coderunner.showExecutionMessage as false. Now when you run it, no extra messages are displayed. One more thing, you might have noticed that when you run the code, it will just keep on adding the previous outputs. To clear the previous output, you have to set coderunner.clearPreviousOutput as true. Now when you run the code again, it will not show the previous output. Git history is another great Git extension through which you can view Git log, file history, compare branches or commits. To open Git history, press F1, then type Git history in the search bar. It will give you a bunch of options like view history, view file history, view line history. First, I will view the file history. It lists out all the commits that are performed on this file. When you click on them, they will show you the files on which they have made changes. When you click on this previous button, you can compare this file with the previous commit. And here, you can see that how many changes are done. Docker is another very famous extension with over 31 million installs that can help you manage containerized applications. So with the help of it, you can easily create, manage or run your Docker images directly inside VS Code. With the help of Docker, you can build, share, run applications anywhere without tedious environment configurations or management. I was amazed by how good this live share extension is. It enables real-time collaboration with your colleagues. To start sharing your code with anyone, you can click on this live share icon in the activity bar and then at the top you can click on invite participants. Then it says invite link copy to clipboard. Send it to anyone you trust. To demonstrate it, I am opening a new VS Code window. With whom you want to share your code, make sure that he or she has already installed LiveShare on your system. Then other person has to click on join and then paste the invite link and then press enter and he will be inside your workspace. So then they will be given the access of your files and folders. In the participants section, you can can see who is following you or with whom you are sharing your code. Suppose other person has written a line of code inside your file. Inside your project, these same changes are made. You can even see who has made these changes. So this way you do not even need to share your screen. You can simply install this extension and start collaborating with others. First extension in the list is PowerShell. With the help of this extension, you can write and debug PowerShell scripts directly inside VS Code. It also provides you lots of predefined commands, and you can easily add commands. Next in the list is Remote Explorer. This extension lets you use any remote machine as your development environment. But first you need to set up a SSH or a virtual machine on Azure. Git history is another very useful extension. You can check Git history of any file by pressing F1 and then selecting View File History. You can view all the commits of that particular file. Also by pressing F1 and then writing git, you can run lots of git related commands. This extension has all the useful snippets for JavaScript, React, Redux and React Native. You can explore snippets for basic methods, for React Native, Redux, prop types, console, React components, and React Native components. To use a snippet, you have to just write its short form and press enter. To import React, you can write IMR. To write console command, you can write CLO. With RAFC, you can write a functional component. Next is better C++ syntax. Its sole purpose is to improve the color code for C++ language for any theme. Next extension is actually a theme based on GitHub. The code will look like it is written in GitHub. As you can see, this dark theme in GitHub is similar to the VS Code theme we have just used. In GitHub settings, in appearance section, you can change the theme to light. Now this is a lighter theme of VS Code. You can set the same light theme from this extension. So this is just like the light theme of GitHub in web. If you are using Go in your VS Code, you will need this extension. This will help you in code completions. Auto close tag will automatically add HTML or XML close tags. It will help you to automatically close the tags. It also comes handy in other languages like React or JavaScript. If you have a VS Code version later than 1.16, it has a built-in support for close tags for HTML. So in that case, you do not even need this extension. GitHub Copilot, a very famous AI pair programmer. This is the world's most widely adopted AI developer tool. It provides code completion for many languages directly in VS Code. But first you need to sign up with an individual plan, or sign up with Copilot Business or Copilot Enterprise if you have a bigger organization. Viter is an extension mainly used for Vue tooling. Suppose you are developing a Vue project. By default, VS Code doesn't have any syntax highlighting support for a Vue framework. First you need to install this extension. Then syntax will be highlighted for your Vue project. It will also enable code completions. On the top of that, there is support for cementing, highlighting, snippet, emit, linting, error checking, formatting, IntelliSense, and more. There is also an extension for JavaScript code snippets. It has different snippets for import-export, JavaScript methods, and methods for console log. For example, with IMA, you can import only a portion of a package. But this JavaScript ECMA7 plus React snippets extension that we have previously covered is better, because it has snippets for latest version of JavaScript and also snippets for React components and React Native components. Another very famous extension with the YAML language support. So if you are working with the YAML language, you may consider to install this extension. Next is LiveShare, which enables real-time collaborative development with others inside VS Code. After installation, you will see a LiveShare button at the bottom inside status bar. Upon clicking, it will ask to sign in using GitHub or Microsoft account. After signing, you can start collaborating with others. Next is auto rename tag to auto rename paired HTML or XML tags. Its benefit is that you can rename the starting and closing tag at the same time. Even in my workflow, I find it irritating when I have to change the starting and closing tag separately. So with this extension, it has become really easier to do. VS Code Icons is simply an icon library. After installing it, you may note that icons for different files are changed. With the Remote SSH extension, you can open any folder on a remote machine using SSH. This is how it is connected to some remote environment, and as you can see, some file in the remote environment is opened and you can use all the VS Code features. This very popular GitHub extension with over 70 million installs lets you review and manage GitHub pull requests and issues directly in VS Code. After installing in this panel, you can manage your pull requests or your issues. With HTML CSS support extension, you can enable CSS and IntelliSense directly inside HTML. Suppose you have defined different CSS classes. Normally inside HTML, they will not appear in class or ID attributes. After installing this extension, you can provide the path for your CSS files in VS Code settings. Then suggestions for different class names will appear. Next is very popular Material Icon theme with over 21 million installs. You can set Material Icon by clicking on this button. You will see your icons for different files are changed. Next is IntelliCode API usage examples. With this, you can check real-world examples of different APIs. All you need to do is hover over a function call and then click on See real-world examples. Then different examples will appear before you. With dev containers, you can open any folder or repository inside a Docker container. But first you need to create a Docker project. After that, it lets you use a Docker container as a full-featured development environment. If you want to execute code directly in VS Code, you can use Code Runner. Suppose you have a code written in JavaScript. If you have Code Runner extension installed on your VS Code, you can simply run your code and see its output. WSL is another very popular extension with over 24 million installs, which lets you open any folder in Windows subsystem for Linux. Before that, you need a Windows system, and then after that you need to install Windows subsystem to use this extension. Next is extension pack for Java, which you need if you are working with the Java project. It will install a total of 6 extensions. This extension pack has everything for Java language, whether you want to test, debug, or want IntelliSense for your code. This extension is specially for C# language. It provides rich language support for C#. Next, we have C and C++ themes. This theme set has 4 variants: 2017 Dark, 2017 Light, then Dark, then Light. This is 2017 Dark theme. This is 2017 Light theme. This is Simple Dark, and this is Simple Light. Next extension with over 28 million installs is used to support CMake language. This is a code example of CMake language, and this is the first time I have heard about this language. GitLens is most famous Git-related extension in entire VS Code marketplace. It has a feature of inline blame where you can check who has made the commit. Also, it will tell you the time at which the commit was made. It will also tell you about the people who have made changes in the code. By clicking on this icon, you can check the previous changes in the commit. In source control panel, you can check various commits, and also you can check the files in which changes were made. With this, you can also use Git Kraken, which allow you to easily group and manage multiple repositories together, accessible from anywhere. Docker makes it easy to create, manage, and debug containerized applications. Before using this extension, you need to sign in into Docker. Then you will be taken to your repositories tab. Then you can create your public or private repositories or images. After a proper setup, you can work with Docker files directly in VS Code. This another very famous extension with over 31 million installs is used to support Java language. It contains Java linting, IntelliSense, refactoring, formatting, and more. ESLint integrates ESLint JavaScript into VS Code. It statically analyzes your code to quickly find problems. With the help of it, you can configure your own custom rules. Its main purpose is to suggest errors in your code. Next extensions are Jupyter Slideshow and Jupyter Cell Tags. If you are working with the Jupyter software, you may need these extensions. IntelliCode extension with over 38 million installs helps you in AI-assisted development. It helps you with the whole line auto-completions. It also provides you various suggestions of different methods. It will also help you in refactoring if you have a repetitive code. Lots of you may already have used this extension. As the name implies, this code formatter is used to make your code prettier. First, inside settings.json, you need to set prettier as your default formatter. Also, you can set format on save as true. Then on saving, your code will be automatically formatted. If you do not have semicolons in your code, it will add them on saving. Live server with over 44 million installs is used to launch a development local server. Suppose you have an HTML file and you want to run it in the browser. After installing this extension, you will see a Go Live button at the status bar. Simply clicking on it will install a development server. Now, as you can see, your HTML code is running in the browser at the port 5500. Again, clicking on this button will close the server. Jupyter Notebook Renders is another very famous extension with over 55 million installs. With the help of it, you can render charts, graphs, SVGs, JPGs, and other outputs. Jupyter Keymap is another extension for Jupyter Notebooks. It provides key maps for notebooks in Visual Studio Code to match the key bindings in Jupyter Notebook. This extension that supports C and C++ languages has over 59 million downloads. It provides IntelliSense debugging, code browsing in both C and C++ languages. Now we have extension for Jupyter Notebook itself. This is actually an extension pack which has Jupyter Keymap, Jupyter Notebook Renders, Jupyter Slideshow, Jupyter Cell Tags that we have covered earlier. So with the help of this pack, you can work with Jupyter Notebooks directly in VS Code rather than in the browser. Now we are talking about second most downloaded VS Code extension. It is a performant, feature-rich language server for Python in VS Code. Pylance has the ability to supercharge your Python IntelliSense experience with rich type information, helping you write better code faster. Now we have a most downloaded extension for entire VS Code marketplace. It has IntelliSense, code formatting and refactoring, supports linting to suggest errors in your Python code. So all in all, it has IntelliSense through Pylance, linting, debugging through Python debugger, code formatting, refactoring, unit tests, and more. I tried 100 VS Code themes, starting from 1 download to up to 26 million downloads. Let's start with 1-star theme. It is based on Dracula for Rust theme. Next is Sankey Dark theme with 69 downloads. This theme is good but not great. I actually like the color of this theme. After a cat theme, we have our dog theme. This is actually a good theme. Colors are really popping out. Next is also a similar theme with 180 downloads. Its text colors are not very bright and also background is dull. After that we have Night Sage with 297 downloads. It looks like high contrast theme with bright colors. After that we have a theme based on cream with 317 downloads. It is a light theme with warm cream colors and has minimal syntax styling. Akagi theme has 437 downloads and it is based on library of warships. It seems like a good theme with different colors for curly and square brackets, but I didn't like the colors of the strings. But overall this is a good theme. Next is Soda Monokai with 535 installs. It has 3 variations based on Groovebox, Horizon and Monokai. This is Soda Groovebox, this is Soda Horizon, and this is the actual Soda Monokai. I like this theme in the sense that you can tell what is what. If you want paper-like theme, you can use Vintage Paper with 556 downloads. It looks like code is written on paper and it is also easier on eyes. Tinkswave 22 is a neon-based theme with 664 installs. It has really good-looking neon colors and you can easily read text. There is even a theme based on Espresso Soda with 842 installs. This is not very good looking and text is also unreadable. And now we have a sea glass theme. Now we are covering themes which have over 1000 installs. Its font colors actually looks like you are seeing through a sea glass. And I kind of liked this theme. This light purplish Coke theme has over 1206 downloads. It has a background of green shade and text colors look great. Flat for flat color lovers over 1500 installs. I really like the background of it and even the colors are popping out. For party inspiration you can use Party All 84 over 2000 installs. This is okayish theme. I didn't like the background and also the font colors. NYC Winter is designed to be both functional and visually appealing to developers. It has 3 themes: NYC Dracula, NYC Winter and NYC Winter Italic. This is NYC Dracula, this is NYC Winter and it has a little bit of chill tone. Next is Soft Green, which they are saying a healthier theme for your eyes. This is a light theme and to me this doesn't look like a healthier to eyes. A simple winter theme with over 3000 installs. This looks like a mediocre theme. Paper if you want a paper-like background and it has over 3800 installs. And this looks like your code is written on a paper. A simple dark Marcos Autumn. Every font is in pinkish color and it's not very appealing. If you want to feel better, you should use Feel Better UI theme which has over 4000 installs. It has really good contrasting colors. And I can use this theme for whole day. A theme on very cute looking baby panda with over 5000 installs. I particularly like the string color in it. Mosaic based on Dracula and Mayokai Mono. Its font colors and background is simple yet good looking. Material darker with good contrast ratio. This is a high contrast theme and it may be difficult to work on it for longer hours. Soft side that feels soft in the eyes having over 6000 installs. This is a theme that actually looks soft on the eyes. It's better than Soft Green which we have previously visited which has a very light theme. Tomorrow Night Blue having over 9000 installs. Its background is actually in too much bluish tone. After Marcos Autumn we have Marcos Blue and just like previous theme it has very bluish looking tone. Midnight Pastel which is an easy on eyes high contrast theme for VS Code. It has a slate tone in it and I like the contrasting colors. Ocean theme and now we are covering the themes having 10,000 installs. As you might have guessed, the code is looking like it is floating in the ocean. Beyond the Horizon which is beautiful, warm and dark. And it has very warm looking tone in it which is very soothing to the eyes. Material Deep Ocean theme which has over 10,760 downloads. This is a high contrast theme. Next is Better Material theme darker high contrast theme. It has a little green tone in it but I didn't like the very dull colors of methods and functions. If you are a candy lover you can use One Candy Dark. As you might have expected it has candy like font colors. Now we have Winter is Gone theme. It has 2 variations, one is dark black and other is dark blue. This is dark black theme which has black background. And this is dark blue theme with blue colors. One Light Pro is based on Atom's iconic One Dark theme but it's light. It has a very weird looking light theme. Some people may be comfortable on working on it and some may not be. Cobalto is tweaked and refined version of original Cobalt. It also looks like dark blue but its fonts are really good. Next we have Tokyo Night Frameless. It has 3 variations, one is Tokyo Night Frameless, another is Tokyo Night Light Frameless, then Tokyo Night Storm Frameless. This actually looks like it is made for night work. This is Light Frameless which has a light tone and this is Storm Frameless. After Panda theme we have Dainty Panda. It has 25 variations of different values chroma and lightness. It has chroma value 1 and lightness value 1. It has highest chroma value 4 and lightness value 4, but it has very blurry look. Variation with chroma 1 and lightness 1 is actually good. Now we have Horizon Extended. It has one dark theme and one light theme. This is the dark theme and it has great looking contrasting font colors. And after that we have Horizon Extended Light. Flat UI theme, which is a modified version of dark flat UI. It has custom and material variations. This is Flat UI Custom and it looks like sea glass theme that we have previously visited. And this is Flat UI Material. A very interesting name, 50 Shades of Purple. So its fonts and also its background has subtle purple color. Material UI that is ported from Material Design syntax on Atom. This is different in the sense that its methods and functions have bold font. Dracula Soft syntax and it has almost more than 20,000 installs. As the name implies, it is a soft looking theme. Tokyo Night Pro, which is a clean version of Tokyo Night with improved shades and better contrast. You can differentiate between various parts of code with contrasting colors. Next is OneDark Pro Italic Vivid. It has OneDark Pro, then Italic Vivid, then Vivid. This is a default theme and it has very blurry look. This is Italic version, this is Italic Vivid version, and this is only Vivid version. After that we have Base 16 Ocean Dark Extended. This is even more blurry than previous theme. I don't know how it has so many installs. Soft era for soft, warm, cozy, cute coding and typing. This looks like a theme for the girls. Popping and locking black. It is unique in the sense that it has pure black as background color. Cold Horizon with over 30,000 installs. Yes, of course, this is a chilled theme. Pastels on dark ported from Pastels and Dark TextMate. This is a very blurry looking theme. After Marco's Autumn and Blue, we have Marco's Green. And as from the name, you can tell everything is green. Cobalt 3 adapter from official theme have Vespos for more of that italic goodness. This looks like an interesting theme, you can also try it. Tokyo Night based on Tokyo palettes from GOG projects. Variations are Tokyo Night AltSynth, Tokyo Night GOG, Tokyo Storm AltSynth and Tokyo Storm GOG. This is Tokyo Night AltSynth, this is Tokyo Night GOG, this is Tokyo Storm AltSynth, and this is Tokyo Storm GOG. IO Mirage Power Up, which is a rework of IO Mirage theme. This is also a great looking theme on which you can work for longer hours. And we also have a theme based on Code Sandbox website. It has a Black 2021 and Legacy variations. This is a simple black variations of Code Sandbox. This is Black 2021 and this is older Code Sandbox Legacy variation. Dark Horizon is an elegant dark theme with vibrant foreground colors. This is a good theme. For example, in the TypeScript code, the types are written in the bold font. Also, you can easily read the HTML code. Black Ocean is a mix of blues and greens. As you can see in the different codes, font color is a mix of blues and greens. Dark Synthwave 84 is an amalgamation between Lukin and Synthwave 84 color themes. As you can see, it has a very bright looking and neonish color themes. A beautifully warm Horizon theme. Both colors and background is warm looking. It has red and orange tone. Quiet Light is promising you a light and peaceful coding experience. They have not used very strong colors and also background is light. Cobalt Next is like if Oceanic Next and Cobalt 2 made a baby. It has Cobalt Next Default, then Dark and then Minimal versions. This is Cobalt Next. This is Cobalt Next Dark and this is Cobalt Next Minimal. Dracula Refined, which has more than 100k downloads. Its text has some contrasting colors. Now we have a theme, Seti Monokai. Its versions are Dark Forest, Original, Pale Night, Royal and Space. This is Seti Monokai Dark Forest. This is Original. This is Pale Night, this is Royal, and this is Space. Next is Solarized. This is a theme that will be very easy on your eyes and you can work for longer hours. This is Dark plus high contrast version of it, and this is Light plus version, Night All Black. This theme is high contrast and it is good for color blinds. This is a set of base 16 themes. There are lots of themes that you can use in your VS Code. For example, this is Apathy variation. This is Atelier Forest version, and this is Google version which has colors similar to Google logo. Now next we have Synthwave Explorer Machine. This is a new theme and everything looks very repetitive. OneDark Pro Monokai Darker. This is a normal looking theme. Groovebox Material which has over 200k installs. This is a blurry theme, but it's okay. I can use it. Now we have Original Flat UI. It has 3 versions: Default, Dark and Immersed. This is a default version of Flat UI which is light. This is a dark version and this is Immersed version which is also light. City Lights theme which is made to create the immersion of city lights in the code. Atom Material based on Atom Material UI and Atom Material syntax. This is also a good theme but not great. GitHub Plus is a GitHub inspired color theme for VS Code. It actually looks like you are coding in a GitHub in the browser. The famous Groovebox theme with over 500k installs. Its variations are hard, medium and soft in both dark and light themes. This is Groovebox Hard, this is Groovebox Medium, and this is Groovebox Soft. Then we have Light Hard, Light Medium, and Light Soft. Now we are covering the themes which have over 1 million installs. First in the list is Tokyo Night, a clean Visual Studio Code theme that celebrates the lights of downtown Tokyo. Its variations are Tokyo Night Default, Light, and Storm. This is Tokyo Night Default and it is actually good. This is a light version of Tokyo Night, but it's not very good. This is Storm version, but it's little blurry. The official Cobalt 2 theme, which has over 1.4 million installs. This is actually a good theme that you can work on. Pale Night, which is an elegant and juicy material inspired theme with over 1.5 million installs. Its versions are Mild Contrast, Italic, Operator, and Theme. This is Pale Night theme with mild contrast. Pale Night Italic, which will italicize the text. Pale Night Operator, and Pale Night Theme. Synthwave 84 is a synthwave inspired color theme to satisfy your neon dreams with over 1.6 million installs. This is cool looking neon theme, and I may even consider to use it in future. If you go to VS Code settings and select themes then color themes, you will see the default themes of VS Code. I'm sure lots of people are still using these default themes. This is Visual Studio Dark and it is very simple looking theme. Even I have worked on this theme for a long time before realizing that you can change the theme. And this is the default light theme of VS Code. Mayokai is developed in Indonesia. It has also lots of variations. For example, this is Mayokai Dark and this is Mayokai Mirage. You can even set the file icon theme if you want to. This will change the file icons in your VS Code. Dracula at Night is a Dracula fork with a darker flavor. It also has a purplish tone and it looks like high contrast. Nord is an Arctic North bluish clean and elegant VS Code theme. This is a very neutral looking theme and some people may even like it. Next is a Panda theme. This is a fancy theme and I liked it. A very famous light theme, Atom 1 Light, with over 1 million installs. This is great and it's paper-like and you can work on it for longer hours. Shades of Purple is a professional theme suit with hand-picked and bold shades of purple. It has two variations, one is default and other is super dark. This is default and it's really good looking. This is a super dark variation of Shades of Purple. IO is a simple theme with bright colors but it has over 2 million installs. It has three versions and this is IO Dark, this is IO Light, and this is IO Mirage. Now we have original Night Owl theme with over 2.3 million installs. Its text colors are not very bright and also background is made to work on night. Also there is a light version of Night Owl. Monokai Pro is a professional theme which has 2.6 million installs. Its versions are Classic Pro, Filter Machine, Filter Octagon, Filter Strato, Filter Spectrum. Monokai Pro is a great theme and I even use it for my work. This is Classic version, Monokai Pro Default, Filter Machine version which I actually use, Filter Octagon, Filter Strato, and Filter Spectrum. Winter is Coming is also very popular with over 2.6 million installs. This is a dark black theme of it. This is dark blue theme and this is a light version. Another very popular material theme with over 2.7 million installs. This is default material theme and I didn't like it that much. It also has different versions like darker, darker high contrast, deep forest, lighter, ocean, and pale night. Peacock is a little different in the sense that it only changes the color of your workspace. With this you can set different colors for your workspace. Node Green, React Blue, Svelte Orange, and Vue Green. Atom 1 Dark is very popular theme with over 5 million downloads. Its colors are good and it's very warm looking. Now we have Dracula Official, which is a dark theme for many editors, shells and more. This is actually a great looking theme. I really liked it. This is Dracula Soft, which is a little softer version of it. 1 Dark Pro is Atom's iconic 1 Dark theme for VS Code. It has a default version, darker, flat and mix. This is default version which is also really good looking. This is darker version. And this is mixed version. Now we have extremely popular GitHub theme which has over 11 million installs. It also has lots of variations. This is GitHub Dark. This is GitHub Default. This is GitHub Dimmed. This is GitHub High Contrast. This is GitHub Light. This is GitHub Light Default and this is GitHub Light High Contrast. Material Icon is another extremely popular icon theme with over 21 million installs. It has lots of material design icons for VS Code and also options for customization. And in the last we have UI themes for C, C++ extension. I have chosen it because it is most downloaded in themes category in VS Code Marketplace. This is okay looking theme and this is a dark version of it. And this is its light version. Subscribe to watch more videos like this.